And we are live on the air.
Yeah, and the Pirates are pretty good too.
What do you think has made the Pirates do so well this season? Or, actually, let's move into the National League East. The Mets, 2 games, 2.5 games back in the Nationals, but the Mets certainly not playing like a second place team. No, Brett, do you have any opinion on that?
Steven Matz is a huge, huge boost to a already healthy um, front staff, and I believe that by adding him, Mets have now turned themselves back into a contender. Yes, I said it, a contender.
All right.
Um,
What do you think about them wanting to
I think that they're
get rid of
growing.
Peace?
I think that they need to get rid of him, sell him to the best bidder, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think John Neese is gone. You have these young pitchers who are coming up and are pitching really well. Syndergaard has been great. Steven Matz, if he continues to pitch like that, he's going to be great and hit like that. I mean, that's incredible. The Mets, I don't think they have enough offense that you're going to need when you're playing teams like St. Louis, Pittsburgh, even the Cubs now with Chris Bryant. I mean, a legend, am I right? I did call
He
that.
he is holding his own
I
right
did
now.
call Chris
He's
Bryant.
holding his own.
So I take all the credit for that.
There is nothing ridiculous about his stats. He's holding his own. Let's not get ahead of
He's
ourselves.
like one of the best players in the league statistically since he got called up.
Do you know what his stats are?
Let's bring him up.
He's batting 273. He's got 10 home runs and 43 RBIs.
Incredible.
All right. Not one of the statistically best.
So he's in the Hall of Fame.
No, okay. Yeah, sure. I mean, the top 5 batting averages in his league start at 353 and go down to 317. So he's 40 points off there. You got to have at least 20 home runs to be in the top for the NL. And RBIs, all right, he's 10 off on RBIs. Bryce
But he,
Harper is having his standout year so far.
yeah, Bryce Harper is the reason that the Nationals are as good as they are right now.
He
Probably the only reason.
he is doing everything right now.
He is carrying the team.
You know, it was really cool to see when Washington played Miami. Juan Carlos Stanton versus Bryce Harper. That was a cool matchup. They went home run for home run, I think, one game. I forget what game it was.
But now Giancarlo Stanton's hurt. The Marlins can't seem to catch a break.
No.
That's a franchise in turmoil.
You know, but they have 2 World Series since their creation only 22 years ago.
That's true. It's
More
impressive.
World Series in the last 22 years than many teams, believe it or not.
Yeah, your guy Chris Bryant over there. He might be a potential Hall of Famer with his stats, but you take a look at his rings. Did Derek Jeter, how many did Derek Jeter have, and how many is Chris Bryant gonna have?
Oh,
That's what it comes down to.
did any of you two see this article going around about how Derek Jeter used like a miracle drug or whatever? Did anyone see that?
I think you're gonna get a
Derek
virus
Jeter's
if
a
you think
legend.
that.
Derek Jeter's a legend.
No, yeah, people. It was a fake article, but it was put out by like some product. I forget the name of it. If I
The Onion. That is the
no, I don't think it was the Onion. But anyways, it was claiming that he had done this like popular drug to build muscle and whatnot, and it was like, why did Jeter leave? He was doing so well, and it was just a fake article. But I just thought it was funny that people will do anything to try and make a profit. But it was really cool because you got to see. Go on, Jeremy. I'm sorry.
No, finish.
You got to see like there were tons of like people commenting on it. There were over like 20,000 comments on this article, and a lot of it was like, I'm a Red Sox fan and I would never deface Jeter like this. He's like the greatest thing that happened to the sport. So it's just interesting to see how much one player can impact the sport.
Yeah, Jeter's one of those players that I feel like people don't really hate him, but you're either in love with him, or you can kind of do without him. He hasn't really been a part of the Yankees organization since he retired. He's not really like going to games, going to Old Timers Day. He's not really into it. So that's kind of a knock on him. This franchise that gave him everything, the fans that gave him everything for all these years, and now he's just kind of leaving and he's done with it.
Well, all right. I mean, what do you really want from him right now? He's young. He still has a long time to go. He could be a coach.
Johnny Damon went to Old Timers Day. I love Johnny Damon.
Jeter,
I love Johnny Damon for being a Yankee and for being proud of it.
Are
Derek
you
Jeter
even-
should go to that and be proud that he was a Yankee, that he won all those championships with the Yankees, and that they gave everything to him.
are you even allowed to go to Old Timers game 1 year after you retired?
Probably.
No, probably not. Well,
Probably you can.
of course you're allowed.
I'm
They're
sure you
totally
could
allowed.
show up. I don't think they would want you to play though.
He probably wants to stay out for a couple of years. I'm sure down the line, 2-3 years, we'll see him play an Old Timers Day. He just gave up the game. He's not suddenly going to come back to it. We did see him show up though for when they retired the number of Bernie Williams, and so he was there for his buddy, and he's trying to stay out of the game. He's keeping his Players Tribune going, and that's really how he's doing his business right now.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it seems like you guys are making a lot of excuses for Derek Jeter.
Now, Jeremy, if you want to, if you want to crap talk Derek Jeter here, at least bring up the fact that he went Dutch with his girlfriend on a check. Did anyone see that? He went out with a supermodel and went Dutch on the check, and people are trying to be like, he's a millionaire. Why is he going Dutch with some girl? He should be like the right to pay. I mean, it's just crazy. So if you want to call him out on something, call him out on that chivalry. But anyways, let's get back into current news, guys. I mean, so who do you think is going to be all-star pitchers, starting pitchers for the All-Star game?
Well, for the American League, it's got to be someone from the Royals. Because the way the fans vote in Kansas City,
All right.
it's going to be the Royals in the All-Star game.
Okay, fine. Who do you think should get it, though?
All right. You're going to like this pick.
All right.
My American League starting pitcher is Chris Sale.
I don't
The modern day Randy Johnson.
I don't hate that pick.
You gotta love it.
I think a Kansas City pitcher is more likely to get it than that, but
For me, it's got to be Felix Hernandez. You guys 10-4. He's the most wins in the AL right now.
yeah, classic choice.
He's got to be it. For
Classic
the other
choice.
guys, though, it's got to be Cole on the Pirates. The guy's been pitching lights out. He's 11-3 at 2.16 ERA in 15 games. So he's doing pretty good.
Garrett Cole?
Yeah.
All right. I can guarantee you the starter for the National League is going to be Max Scherzer.
I
He
agree.
threw a no-hitter. He was like one pitch
He
away
was
from a
up-
perfect game. He almost had back-to-back no-hitters. He's the best pitcher in the game. He's the best pitcher of our generation. And
Whoa,
he's going to lead the
whoa,
He's going to throw
whoa.
a no-hitter in the All-Star game.
Whoa! All right, Jeremy. Best pitcher of our generation.
Who's better?
A little guy in the Dodgers named Clayton Kershaw.
He's
that
slush
guy
now.
named Roy Halladay, who has
Oh my God!
he's totally blanked on Roy
He's not
Halladay.
putting up the numbers that Scherzer's putting up this season. If this continues for Scherzer, it's going to be the best statistical season that we might ever see.
Oh, but how
That's true.
many perfect games is Halladay thrown compared to Scherzer?
No one's
How many?
perfect
One?
games are pointless. Perfect games are pointless.
In the playoffs.
That's
So, Mike,
not a-
Who's going to be the starting pitcher for the National League?
I don't think it's not. I do think it could be Scherzer. That doesn't make him the best pitcher of our generation. Although Zach Greinke is having a better season right now.
Not statistically.
ERA, yeah.
Guys, the way that's
ERA
not
is
how
the
it's
only
gonna
thing
end up
that matters.
happening.
Scherzer's whip is .79. He doesn't allow
Yeah,
base runners.
That's
He gets
great.
they're gonna end
everybody
up,
out,
That's great.
and he doesn't
ERA is
walk
the only
people.
thing that matters.
they're gonna end up putting Scherzer on a Sunday. He's not gonna even pitch the All-Star game, which is why I say Garrett Cole, because it's
Ugh.
typical of Pittsburgh to say, "Oh, we got a marketing play out of that." So, from a marketing standpoint,
All
Garrett
right.
Cole. From a baseball standpoint, Max Scherzer will pitch on the Sunday before, like every other top ace.
Brett's thinking logically here. Okay. Well, all right. We're about halfway through the season. We'll revisit this later. But do you think any team here can turn it around right now that's doing poorly? Whether it be the Padres, the Brewers, the Athletics. Who do you think? Turn it around by the All-Star break, who will be hot?
Well, I kind of called it again with the Padres. I said they were going to start out hot and then sort of
Oh,
cool
yeah.
down.
Yeah, 60,
So
60 wins
yeah,
first half.
so I didn't exactly call it, but I kind of did. Uh, I don't really know if they're going to turn it around completely, but the team that I could see making some moves would be the Marlins. You're going to get Jose Fernandez back, and that guy is going to win a bunch of games. I think he's going to come back right away. He's going to be dominant,
Okay.
and he's going to be the ace of their pitching staff, what they desperately needed all season. Giancarlo Stanton, obviously he's out, but if he comes back a little bit ahead of his timetable, maybe after a month, they could get up to 70-something wins. They're not going to make the playoffs, but it's still turning it around in my opinion. The Cincinnati Reds have to turn it around. They have too much talent to be in this position, 34-40 right now. Todd Frazier, he should be starting the All-Star game for the National League. The problem for them is going to be if they start selling their players and if Johnny Cueto leaves, because if he leaves, they're probably finishing last in that division.
Okay. All right. Brett, who do you think will turn it around this season so far, up until the All-Star break?
Um, I mean, I think Seattle right now is a team that has gone under 500 that shouldn't really be there. They've been over 500 in the last couple seasons. Headed into the All-Star break, and they've kind of just fallen flat. They could be a team that can trade at the trade deadline. Also, Detroit, who they're 3 games over 500. They don't belong there. They're a team that could also make some deals. They've been known to make some good trades, as well as Texas, who while they're at 5, don't belong there. They're with the Houston Astros, who for no reason are in first place. They do deserve it though, but for no reason they're in first place. Come on, they're the Houston Astros.
Yeah,
Doesn't make much sense.
they paid their dues. They had 114 losses last season. They're
Yeah,
trying for 114
well,
wins.
there you go. You could argue that.
But all right.
There's a
I
couple
think-
different teams that can make some deadline deals. Cole Hamels though, where is Cole Hamels going to go?
Oh man, I forgot he's still undecided. I don't know, but the Athletics have it for me. They're going to make the biggest turnaround this season. I know they're probably one of the worst teams in baseball right now when you look at just their record, but their differential, they're plus 50. They've given up 50 less runs than they've scored. So there's something not translating there that's going to click eventually. Sorry, they're plus 40. But there's something just not clicking there that will eventually click. And when they do, I think they'll be able to make a run for the top of their division.
All right, now let's take a look the other way. Which team do you think is going to fall flat?
All right, I think the team that's going to fall flat the most this season, I hate to say it, I don't think the Dodgers are going to keep it up all year. Greinke's doing fantastic for him, but I just don't see them sustaining this pace throughout the season. They're going to end up 85 wins, probably in second place, 4 games back in their division. Yes, Jared.
Well, the team I see dropping off has got to be Tampa Bay. The Rays have been overperforming all season due to their pitching It's not going to last. Too many young arms. And the offense has been good, but you're not getting contributions from your best player, Evan Longoria. He hasn't been the player that he usually has been. I don't think they can sustain the offense, especially in the American League East, where Toronto's getting better. The Yankees are, staying on pace. Tampa's going to fall off. They're not going to make the playoffs. They're not going to make the wild card. And they're going to probably be ahead of Boston, but I don't see them going far.
Okay. Brett?
Yeah, that was probably my team too. For the sake of the argument, I guess I could say the Cubs because they're the Cubs. They always seem to fall flat at the end. Something that their fans have grown used to. But I don't know. I'd probably say the Tampa Bay Rays because they're in a division right now with two other hot teams, the Yankees and the Orioles. So I see them falling flat.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for your input. This has been a great first podcast of BSPN. Hope everyone listening has enjoyed this. We'll hope to have you guys listen in next week. Thanks for listening, guys. Good night.